In today's episode, I'm going to show you how to take a shirt that fits like this and transform it into a shirt that fits like this. Hey guys, welcome to So What? I'm your host, Tim, the Spool Man Tailor. Have you ever bought a shirt only to notice that it fits like this? Do you want to walk around looking like a frumpy schlub? Well, I don't. Hey, can I borrow $5? I probably won't pay you back because I'm a loser. Are you sick of buying shirts that make you look like a beta cuck? Well, I'm going to show you how to make your shirts fit like an alpha. I'm going to give you some tips on how to tailor your shirt to make it look like you actually work out or even know where a gym's at. I mean, if you dress like this, you might as well introduce yourself to every girl and say, "Hi, put me in your friend zone as soon as possible." You won't even get in the friend zone if you dress like this. You'll be in the, "Oh my God, he doesn't even have any tattoos" zone. So what we're going to need to do this is a measuring tape, a sewing machine, some pinking shears. First thing we're going to do is we're going to make a measurement of how much we want to take off. Not every body is shaped the same. I have gigantic birthing hips, so I'm going to need to take off less at the bottom than I will in the middle. So we're going to take 4 measurements. 1 at the bottom, 1 in the middle, 1 at the armpit area, and 1 for the sleeves. I'm going to start at the bottom here. Now you don't want to take off too much because then your shirt will fit like an extra medium. And ask me how I know about that. I'm going to play this one safe and do about 1 1/4 inches on the bottom, 1.5 inches in the middle, about 1 inch at the armpit area. And then for the sleeves, if you want your sleeves to fit like you actually work out and have muscles, then you want to trim down your sleeves as well. Look at this. What is this? Why does anyone want their shirt to fit like this? These sleeves are extra baggy, so I'm going to go 2 inches off on the sleeves. So you got 2, 1, 1.5, and 1. First thing we're going to do is turn this shirt inside out. Now that we have the shirt inside out, we're going to mark those measurements on the shirt. I'm going to use a fabric pencil to do this. So just over 1 inch at the bottom, 1.5 inches in the middle, 1 inch at top, 2 inches on these baggy ass sleeves. Okay, I marked them now. I'm going to connect the dots. Make a line from here to there, and I try and smooth it out as much as you can. Here's a little pro tip. You're going to make sure the bulk of the fabric is on the left-hand side. When you're feeding it through the sewing machine, you're going to start here and it's going to feed the fabric that way. So if you have the bulk of the fabric on the other side, it won't fit through the sewing machine anymore. So what you're going to do from here is, you see I marked it wrong because I've only done this once or twice before. Flip it over and you make your marks on the other side. So it's going to be on the same side. Now that we've made the marks, it's time to sew this bad boy. Like I said before, you want to keep the bulk of the fabric on the left. It's very important that you keep the seam lined up because you don't want it to be uneven. Feed it into your sewing machine and drop your presser foot where you want to start. I'm going to be using a zigzag stitch with this with 2.5 millimeter spacing. That allows the fabric to stretch. I guess you can use a straight stitch as well, but supposedly it doesn't stretch. Like I said, full disclosure guys, I've now done this 2 times, so I'm not hardly an expert, but I just want to show you that if I can do it, you can do it. Now we have our seam lined up. I like to manually run through the first couple of stitches. Now we're just going to run a few stitches and then we're going to hit the reverse to lock the stitch in. So here it goes. Okay, now I'm going to hit the reverse, lock that stitch in, and now it's time to thread it in. Just follow the line we created. I'm not the best sewer, so I'm not going to go too fast. Okay, I'm going to slow down here before we get to the sleeve. You want to make sure your sleeve is nice and lined up. You don't get the fabric bunched up when you go around this corner. So I'm going to go nice and slow here and slowly angle it towards the sleeve. There we go. Keep this nice and straight. We're going to do the same thing on this end. When we get towards the end, we're going to hit the reversed stitch to lock our thread in. Okay, I'm going to hit the reverse stitch here, lock that in, and now I'll finish it off. Okay, lift up your presser foot, We have now stitched one side. Time to repeat this process on the other side. Since we have that marked on the same side of the fabric, run a few stitches through and then we're going to back stitch it. Now before we do the final steps, you want to put on your shirt while it's still inside out and decide if you like the way it fits. If you want to make your shirt fit different at this point, you can make an additional seam on the inside, making it even tighter, or unfortunately if you want to make it looser, you'd have to cut the seam and then start over. I'm happy with the way it fits now, so I'll show you how we finish off this process. Look, I'm not going to tell you how to live your life. You can go wear the shirt like this if you want. You know, you want to stick out, you want to be different? Hey, no one else is doing this. This guy's funny. You should subscribe to his channel. I think his name's Feddy Fam. Cracks me up. Anyways, back to the tutorial. All right, guys, last step. Once you decide you like the way the shirt fits, it's time to cut off this excess fabric. Now we're going to be using these pinking shears. As you can see, it's the zigzag teeth. What that does is when you cut it, it prevents the fabric from fraying. You don't want to cut too close to your thread, but you don't want to cut so far away that you feel the seam when you're wearing your shirt. This is what they call a seam allowance. I don't actually know what that means, but I wanted to sound cool, so I'm going to go ahead and say it. Let's cut it. It's like arts and crafts time, guys. Isn't this fun? Make sure you don't cut into your stitches because you'll undo your new seam. One side down, one to go. All done. Now it's time to turn it inside out and put it on. And there you have it. How to tailor your shirt like an alpha. Unfortunately, this video is probably going to get demonetized because it's showing off some guns. I'm not even flexing either. Seriously, if I can do this, so can you. So instead of being put in the friend zone, you're now going to be that friend that she says, oh, you don't have to worry about him. Now that you realize that you enjoy sewing, you're probably starting to question a lot of things. Like, what are these feelings that are unlocking deep inside of me? Why do I think that guy at the gym is cute? Whatever. I'm going to drink a protein shake right now. I don't have time to... Looks good, right? So now when you're dressed like this, people are going to walk up to you on the street and say, hey, can I get a spot? Put it this way. When you dress like this, people are going to stop you on the street and say, hey, where's the nearest gym? Because they know you know. And I'm your host, Tim the Spoolman Tailor. Join us next time when I show you how to make a V so deep, it's damn near illegal.